Unit 11. The progression project has been completed. Feedback is in Google Classroom. Your progress is on the BCOTS dashboard. Character design, which covers Unit 9, is also complete at this point of the academic year. You had 4 weeks to complete this, which covered Unit 9. Feedback will be with you at the end of the week that starts 28th of November 2022. We always like to give feedback to you 5 to 10 working days after submission. We start now, Media Reimagined, which is Unit 10. 3 weeks on this, not long. As you can see, we're about halfway through the academic year now. It's always worth to zoom out and see that global view, as it were, of the course. After Christmas, it's going to ramp up pretty quickly. Anyway, we'll come on to that then. Let's look at Media Reimagined. For this project, you're going to be rebooting, reimagining, rejuvenating, rethinking an existing intellectual property, a media franchise, whether it be a comic book, whether it be a film, an animation, a TV show, something maybe dear to you from your childhood, something perhaps that predates your childhood, something you want to take and then renew, taking the existing core ideas and doing something different with it. You're going to be creating a proof in concept of what this might be. So some images, or some video, or some graphics might be what you produce at the end of this project. The proof of concept of what you want to create. This is going to be due in 4:30 on the 15th of December, and there are 4 elements we need to cover. So let's take a look, shall we? Scope. An overview document, which gives us an idea of the scale of your idea to reboot an existing media property to be released in 2025. How you're going to re-engage old and existing audiences while also expanding the fan base for new audience members. Here you will outline what media franchise you're going to reimagine. Here you will also outline how you might think about things like story, the characters, the medium you're going to be using, podcasting, YouTube shorts, whether it's going to be using extended realities like virtual reality. You'll communicate this in the scope document and anything else that's appropriate for this reimagining of the media franchise. You're going to outline your concept here. That's what the scope's for. And how you intend to produce an example of the proof of concept at the end. The images, the video, the graphics, whatever you're going to be creating at the end will be stated here. Deliverable 1 is the scope document, template of which will be given to you in your first lesson. Here, looking for context, background, history, understanding of the culture of the media franchise, understanding of the subject, understanding of what the desires and needs are of said audience base. The second task is going to be a research presentation. In this research presentation, we've given you some headings to scaffold your thinking, but we want you here to think about the subject matter and how you're going to be creating your proof of concept. Think about the audience and how they behave, their psychology, what platforms they prefer, what motivates them, who influences them. So there might be a scope for thinking about synergy and other forms of media, celebrities, social media, to help build an audience here. Keeping them engaged. How are you going to know the impact of what you're doing? Are you going to use analytics, for example? Are you going to measure the impact in any other tangible, measurable way? In the Google Slides file, you will not only answer these questions, you'll also add all your ideas, notes, sketches, links, a mood board, a storyboard about your idea to reimagine this media. The deliverable is the research presentation. Here, looking for research, so thorough and sustained research. That's what I'm going to be looking for really. looking at relevance sources, interpreting and synthesizing existing ideas together so it informs your work, supports and develops your work. It isn't just tokenistic, it is informing and infusing and baking into what you create in your proof of concept at the end of this project. Distinction level learners will be independent, look at a range of resources and be insightful and synthesize things in interesting ways. For problem solving, at the very least, I'm looking for a decisive demonstration of initiative, get up and go, problem solving, using your time outside of lessons well, adapting to unforeseen practical challenges. Distinction level learners will be decisive also, but will be more autonomous, more independent, more mature. Compare themselves to professional expectations more consistently. The third part is looking at planning, pre-production. The deliverables here will be you presenting your idea to a small audience and receiving feedback and being receptive to that feedback, pitching your project to a panel of peers and pitching also your Miro task board we're going to create to outline your project and a Gantt chart to show how you're going to use your time effectively. The planning of your project is crucial. The criteria for the merit level is coherent, reasoned, organised, thoughtful, reasonable, realistic planning. For distinction level, detailed and coherent, continuous evaluation and self-reflection through the process as well. That's real adaptive professional planning if you're constantly adapting and changing. It's real. The fourth and final task is the production itself, the proof of concept. So I'm looking for you to create a series of images, is often the way this is thought of. A series of images that show your project in its best light and include also a written evaluation reflecting on the project. 800 words, so a page and a half, thinking about the project and all the tasks within it. Reflecting on all these tasks. For the production itself, a series of images showing your reimagined media is what we are aiming at. Practical skills for the merit level, consistent and appropriate processes. Extending your inquiry, going to the edge of your capabilities and trying new things, using time outside of lessons proactively. Evidence of that as well. For distinction level, practical skills, an understanding of aesthetic awareness. The tone, the feel, the style of the franchise. Is it in keeping with this? Is it an evolution of this? Does it make sense? Does it ring true? Showing flexible processes, skills and knowledge to get there. In terms of your evaluation for merit level, effective analysis, answering the bullet points, and using some good examples and reasonable decision making along the way. For distinction level, interpreting, analysing, reflecting all the way through the project, showing sophistication in thinking and maturity in decision making and progress to progress your ideas. So comparing to industry level examples typically is what differentiates a distinction from a merit. There we go then. We have 3 weeks to work on this. Use the Learning Hub. Use the media graduates there to help you and guide you and help you. Use the studio spaces. Use the industry grade camera equipment. Be proactive. 3 weeks. Then it's Christmas. To work on these 4 elements here. We'll start with the scope document and we'll build from there. Okay. As ever, any questions, speak to me on Google Chats or Amanda in lessons. Okay. Good luck.